Okay, let's start. We've got a lot to talk through. This is the market summary. This is how Tradingview decided to open up the software. Most of you, what you're going to be doing, we're not going to analyze this because everything that's on this page you can access directly from the chart. No one will be spending time on the market summary, I'm sure. So we'll click on the pound dollar and then we're going to go, you might be seeing it like this in a line. You can switch that to candle for a quick view of what's happening. And by clicking this button here, it will take you directly to the advanced chart, which you are most familiar with. On the top, we're going to go first on the top, then on the left, on the right, and then at the bottom. And the reason we're going to do that is because at the top is where you choose your symbol or your asset. If you're trading stocks, if you're trading futures, Forex, everything is here. If you can't find something, let's say you wanted to trade, I don't know, the New Zealand currencies and you can't see it, this is how you can start typing it and it will populate. Cool thing that you can do on this page is you can add the assets into a watch list, and you can very easily do this. I have done this with the pound dollar, for instance, and all the majors of the Forex symbols. You can just hover and toggle on the different colors that you have, and depending on the colors, then you can use those and switch through on your watch list. So all red, I can go to my, if I close this, onto my watch list, we're going to talk later, click on the majors, and that's all my majors that I had from the symbol here. So some cool things that we're not really going to be interested in, but it will be good to know. You can add and subtract currencies or markets, so you can add the euro onto this, and what that will do is actually add the price of the pound onto the euro dollar. So if we have a look at that, you'll see, you have to have a pro version, but you will see there's added the price onto the pound and the euro dollar. So from 1 whatever that was 5 has gone to 2.13. Not sure why you would want to use that, but there you know it if you ever want to use that. So let's go back to our pound dollar. On the directly, so that's how you choose your asset. From there, and also something that's really cool about this, I think only on Tradingview you can see this. If you wanted to look at economy charts in terms of like interest rates, Bank of England interest rate, or the Fed interest rates in America, you can have all this on your chart. So now we can see interest rates are announced that it's going to be 3, and you can see that and analyze that as you would with any symbol. So delete that, and that is your symbol search. Directly to your right, we have our time frames. So let's go back to our pound dollar, USD, and we want that on the Forex. We've got our time frames. These are what I've chosen to be in my favorites. So what you can do is very easily, let's say you wanted only intraday and you wanted 30 minutes and 45 minutes, that will populate on the top there. Really useful. And I can toggle between the time frames. Directly onto the right, we've got toggling between candle and line charts. Those are the most that people will be using, but you have also bars with the open and close. This is where you'll be doing that. Mainly you'll be using the candles. And one of the most popular areas is the indicators, metrics, and strategies. My scripts is when people actually can code different indicators, and they also make it public, so then you can go onto your technicals, and if you go onto all of these, some of them are made by other people. Community scripts, for instance, average volume profile is made by some Recchio, and 394 people are using it. So that might be interesting. If you are missing something that you've used in another platform, you can check the different scripts. One, like a MACD, for instance. If this MACD doesn't look like your normal MACD in your other software, you can go into your scripts and see if anyone has replicated that, and you can use it. What's cool about indicators, obviously you can have your favorites. So any indicator, I can click on this start and it will become a favorite. And when I can go to my favorites and click it there and bring it up. Technicals, all your technical in terms of volume profiles, if you're looking at volumes, all your such as relative strength index, stochastics, this is where you would put that stochastic RSI, for instance, will populate onto your chart. So once you've chosen all your indicators and you put them onto your graph, let's take this out. Then what you can do is click on this button and on the next button with the 4 squares, and you can save this indicator as, let's say, RSI and STO, and I can save that. And every time I open a different chart that doesn't have my two indicators, I can very easily then go back to this, and we called it RSI STO. It will populate that for you. Okay, so that is that. We'll go a bit in detail in terms of how we can make our indicators exactly how we want, but we're just gonna go across the top first. So these are all our templates that we've had here, and I can have it as a favorite, and if I have it as a favorite, it will populate on the top on the right. So then I can go to my Bollinger, which I use, and the RSI to my stochastic and my RSI very quickly. So you can have multiple templates which you can switch in between depending on time frames or what you're looking at. Next, we've got alerts. Alerts is what it says it is. It will give you an alert of a price range, and it can do it with multiple ways. It can email you. If you have a website, you can have a webhook with a URL. It can message you a text message, an SMS, and so on. You just literally just put the price in, press create, and that will bring it up. And as soon as that price has been hit, it will alert you. Next, we've got replay. Replay is one of the coolest things one of the main reasons people go towards using TradingView Pro is this feature here. So let's say I was looking at this market and I shorted it, and I wanted to see that replay. I basically toggle it on. Let's do that again. So I might be doing that too quickly. Toggle it in, and then you've got your scissors where it's going to say, where do you want this replay to start from? And I want to start it from this candle here. Okay. Then I can choose the speed. How fast will the replay play? You can go by 1 second, and then you press play, and that will play depending on your time frame, the 4-hour candles for every second, and you will see it like that. And you can replicate and you can back test. It's an extremely useful tool. That's replay. So let's stop that. We got toggle, undo, and redo. So if I put a line there, I can undo it, redo it with these 2 lines. And then here we have where you would save your template. So what you would like, for instance, as you can see, I've got a white background here. That's not normally how TradingView is. You can see TradingView. This is normally how you would see the starting page, but I've changed it to my preferences. And the way to do this is a good time to show you this, is by right clicking on the chart. You'll go to settings, and you've got symbol. If you want to change the color of the symbols, the borders, the wick, literally you can change every single aspect of this chart. What you want to show once you're hovering onto the candles, the scale that you're on. Normally you shouldn't touch this. It's quite they've thought about this, and it's most design friendly. What you can touch obviously is the background, like I did, like a solid color. Go to white if you want a white background. Something that I like is the borders to be black, because they pop out a little bit further, pop out onto the screen a bit better because of the white background. What else we've got here? So then you would do all this. You can have the economic events on the calendar, such as if you're trading stocks, it might give you revenues or earnings coming out. So that will show you that. Also the profits and losses of your trading. If you're trading directly from Tradingview or paper trading, literally you can do everything that you want. Then you would go onto template, save as, save that, and then have it down here where you want to populate any graph. So if I reset my template, I can then go onto this symbol, go onto my shortcut, and click onto my on settings, template, and basic template. It will populate that there. On the right side, we've got search, where you can search anything that you want. So let's see. This will search anything that you want in terms of tools and trend lines and so on. It won't search indicators. And just to show you, if I do a relative strength index, it wouldn't do that. So that's where you would search anything about drawings, but we're going to go into detail of that in a second. Here you've got your settings that we right clicked and went into seconds. You can also click it here. This is full screen, and this is if you want to share a picture or you want to share an idea. This is where you can start taking a snapshot of what you're seeing and so on, and then publish it. Okay, so that's a quick view of the top section here. The only thing that we haven't said is how we change indicators to look like we want them to look. So if I bring up my favorite indicators, these two, Bollinger Band and the RSI, you might see on your Tradingview they're looking different because I've changed these. So the way you do that is you go hover above RSI, and you see this little tool there where you can go in and change the style of the RSI, how it looks. You can change a lot of things. I believe the original one, let's reset it and we'll do it again quickly. So if I go into settings, I can go on to, I want the 14. I do not want the moving average. So the way I would do that is on my style, take away the MA, the moving average, and I want my RSI to be black. Make that a bit bigger. I also want my RSI upper band to be red, and I want it a solid line, quite a big line, and I'm happy with 70. My middle line, sort of the 50, I'll have that as a black solid, but dashed line, that's the word. And the lower RSI, I'm going to have that green, showing that it's oversold, so it's an opportunity to start buying the market. Have that solid line. The background, I want it white, and something's not right. That line needs to be bigger. Okay, so we've got that line there, that line there. Okay, so now I've got my RSI like I want it, and also what I can do now is go and save that as default. So every time I will bring the RSI, that will be used as a default. Okay, so that's how you change any indicator. You can do that with the average day range, Bollinger Bands. I did that with the Bollinger Band on the colors, stochastic, volume, and so on. So we're going to go to the left side of the screen after this, where we're going to talk about the drawings and the tools that we've got there. Let me move the camera this side. Toggle that off. So first of all, we're going to start with one of the most popular things. Actually, first of all, we're going to talk about the cross, which is your mouse, how that looks. You can have it as a dot. You can also have it as an arrow if you want to show stuff, and erase drawings with that. Next, the most popular that we're talking about was the lines and trend lines. A trend line, you just click on the trend line, click on where you want it to be, like that, and you've just placed the trend line. What it would also show you is the actual price of your where you started to where you finished. Now, there's so many things that we can change about a line. We can change the style, we can change the design, we can make it a solid line, and then we can also save it as a template. Okay, so in the future, if I know that I'm dealing with, let's say, daily charts or monthly charts, and I want to have different lines, this is where you would save this template. I have also saved my templates, and might have deleted them because they're not showing up here, which is, oh no, they're not trend lines, sorry. So yeah, so your trend lines, you would save it. Like I have done another example. This is my line. There we go. Put a bit of a title, how you would do that. Something you might have not noticed about that, it's a really cool feature, is that you're currently not on drawing mode. And what I mean by that is every time you want to draw a trend line, you have to go back and click on the trend line and place it again. If you toggle this drawing, stay in drawing mode, what you can then do is just click it once, the trend line, but then you don't have to click it again. You can keep on drawing trend lines, which is really useful when you're you're analyzing your charts. You don't want to be moving your mouse every time to click a trend line to progress. So on and off, that will give you the drawing mode. So let's take that out. And whilst we're here talking about trend lines, let's add the next one, which will be one of the most used, horizontal line. I've got it in my favorites. Let's draw a horizontal line there. I've got my templates, and if you follow the Scruffy Trader, you will know what these lines are. So monthly, weekly levels, and daily levels. I've changed those, and if I'm on my drawing, I can very quickly do, let's say I want to do 2 weekly levels. Click it first. 2 weekly levels, and I want to do a monthly level below that. Okay, so it's very easy, helpful tool. Another thing that you want to talk about the lines is the magnet, and the magnet is down here. We're skipping these just because it's very relevant to what we're talking about. So if we click on the magnet, you can have a strong magnet and a soft magnet, and that is literally what it is. It's a magnet towards either the wick or the bottom of the body of the candle on the top. So if I delete that line and I bring this line here, you will see that now my mouse, as I go across the candles, it's finding the tops of the wicks. And if I go below the wick, it will find the base of the candle. And that's really useful if you're doing trend lines or you're starting to analyze the chart. Super, super useful. And you can change the strength to strong magnet, and that you can see is really harsh. It pulls the mouse towards where you're going. So really useful. Untoggle, toggle that. Last one, since we're here, you can lock the screen, and then you can't, lock the screen, and then you can't move the drawings. So that's useful when you've done all your analysis and you don't want to move anything, change anything. This is what you're going to be toggling. And then when everything is on, and let's say you wanted to see just the price, you can hide all the drawings and the indicators, and that will just give you a clean chart without losing all your drawings and analysis that you've done, because you can just toggle them all back on. Okay, hide all, it comes back. And the bin, you can delete stuff. Now on these, we're not going to talk about all of them because it's the same philosophy. As soon as you put let's choose one more. Let's do a extended line, for instance. When I click here and I click here, it will extend the line to the left and to the right. I can also create templates on this and change everything for this line. Since we're talking about lines and we're drawings, we're going to talk about this toggle here. Let's see if you can see it. Yes. As soon as you click that favorite, all your favorite things that you have clicked with this asterisk will populate into this very useful toolbar that you can drag and pull along to your analysis. So I can click here, do my line, I can click on my Fibonacci, I can draw my Fibonacci, I can also draw text. Put a text in, cool. And all those three, I've got it on my toolbar, which I can flick on and off depending on how I'm looking at the charts and what I'm doing. Pretty cool. So next one, Fibonacci drawing tools. One of the main, I'll show you the Fibonacci because I use it a lot. But you can have multiple things, spiral Fibonacci's, you can have fib channels, you can have Gann square and fan. A lot of tools that you can use. Pretty much every tool is on Tradingview. So let's say I wanted to do a Fibonacci drawing. As you can see, this is not look. Let's delete all the drawings first, actually. Hide all. No, I don't want to do that. I want to delete everything. And I want to bring my fib tool. And what we're going to do first is reset the fib tool to how you are seeing it. Okay. This is how you see the Fibonacci. It's got all the Fibonacci levels and it's got the extensions underneath. Everything here is customizable. One thing that will help you, this is how I customized. You can customize the color, you can customize toggle on and off. You can see in the background how it's changing, what numbers you want to be seeing. I can also change the color to this one and so on. And the lines, if I want to make the lines dashed, or if I want to make this line a solid line. Background, take away the background so you only have the lines. Show the prices or not show the prices, and so on. Now, when you've done all your analysis, one thing that you can use, let's go to my fib retracement. So that's how I use my fib retracement. Let's say I wanted to add my extension above, which is quite cool. So when you've done a fib retracement, you don't want to go back and change your extension. So let's say I want to add the 618, okay? So I can toggle on the 618 on the bit above, but I can also add let's delete that one, put a 0. So when I do OK, so I've got my extension above in the continuation of the move. Really easy tool, super useful. And you can do the same as we said, that will populate here. You've got fib extensions, you can have all your shortcuts that you can use, really useful. And we're not going to go through all those, but you can see how that can be analyzed. On the geometric shapes, you've got your brush, you've got all the tools that you can use for drawing. You can have a cool path, and you can stop it by right clicking. So you show your path, right click stops the path. What else we've got? We've got circles, we've got curves, such as so. You can change the curve and you can analyze anything on the chart, polygons and so on. You get the idea. On this, you can also have like Elliott waves. If you're into Elliott waves, you can use your Elliott waves as so. Really easy tools. You can just click on the tool, and like we said, with everything, you can put it into your favorites. And let's do that again, delete all. And you can have it on the top here with your little toolbar wherever you're going. So if I wanted to add the Elliott wave to this, boom, so I've got it there. Super useful. What else? We've got ghost feed, which is quite interesting. Let's say you are showing a chart to someone. Space, by the way, clicking space will take you to the front of the page, or you can use that toggle there. Let's say you wanted to say you're discussing a price or you're discussing an idea. You can switch onto the ghost feed, or let me remember which one it is, and you can show the direction as so, to say that I think the market is going to go down there and up to there. and then you right click that and it will stay if you have a normal mouse and not. There we go. So you can show the direction. It's really cool when you're discussing with people. This is going to retrace to the 38 and then it's going to push continuation to the upside. Super useful tool, especially for YouTubers. Date range, you can have from that candle to that candle. I want to see the date range. You can also have what's the other one that you can be using? Pretty much these are fixed volumes from there to there. It's another one that I've seen people using. That will show you where the most volume was traded between that candle and that candle. It can help you with putting trend lines and also key levels and so on. So that's that. What else we've got here obviously is your long positions and your shorts. You can go in and also go into inputs and put your account. If you're trading on let's say you're trading on a prop account, you can put, I'm trading currently the 100,000. My lot size is 0.25. I want to be risking how much per trade? I want to be risking, let's say 500. How many ticks your profit's going to be. And the stop level. So you can set all that and then you can drag it and it will give you your 2-for-1s if you're doing risk reward, 3.4, where you're going to place your stop loss and so on. Everything on this can be again saved and you can have it on your toolbar to bring it back up. You can do the same for shorts and for long, so that's quite useful. Let's take those out for the positioning, and that's pretty much it. We're going to have also the drawings for the left side of the Tradingview. You can have my trading was poo at that section, so you can add that and take a screenshot. Measurement tool, if you're considering is this a worth trading, you can add that in. See that 54 pips, so maybe yes, that's a very good trade to take, and you can use the measuring tool by that. Zooming in, I want to zoom in from there to there, and it will populate that, minimize it, and we'll bring it back out. And that is everything on the left and the top section of Tradingview. We do have a lot still to go through, so I'm going to rush through onto the right side, which is one of the most interesting side for traders, as we have our watch list on the top. And as we said, from here, when I click onto the toggles, that will create my each watch list. So I've got a watch list for indices. I put all the indices. I made a funny one for crypto. I don't trade crypto. Oh, that's gone in there. So XPR and Doge. And below we have the details of the what you're looking at. So let's say I wanted to trade Doge. I can see that everything is on neutral, and we'll look into the more of the technical side. It gives you a bit of performance, how it's done in the month, in the week, and the 3 months. It's giving you day ranges and the current price. You can toggle this off and on. If you don't want the performance, you can take that out. Profiles, I want to have only the technical, for instance. I can go on to the technical, and this is quite interesting and useful. So if you're a bit lazy, you can have all your oscillators on as a left side and all your moving averages on the right side without having it on the graph. So you can keep your graph, let me just move the camera down, make me smaller. So you can keep that away from your graph, and you can see, okay, I'm trading this week. I want to analyze the Doge. It's looking like a buy in summary and a strong buy on moving averages. And what that's doing is looking at all the exponential and simple moving averages and plotting, is it a buy or is it a sell? And as you can see here, the 10s, the 20s, 30s, 50s, 100s, 200s, they're all showing a buy. Not strong buy, but a buy. And one is showing a sell. On the left side, we've got the oscillators, such as the relative strength index, the stochastics, everything that shows you how much the movement or oversold or overbought into one of the symbols. And as you can see, here's a bit of a mix show. Relative strength index is showing neutral, no strong direction on the weekly. If you drop it into the 5 minutes, you can see strong buy, and buy. So if you are day trading this or hourly trading this, it might give you a bias and it helps you with your bias. Also has the pivots at the bottom if you do pivot trading. And you can see that with all the different time frames. Super useful. That's the watch list. If we go down, we've got the alert. As we set the alerts, this is where you would see them. You can also create them here. We also got the headlines. This will be anything that you change up here. Your right side will show you that information. Let's go to the stocks. Might be more interesting for this. These are all the news that you have on Apple since 20 hours ago. On this, you have the data that is shown on the graph. So if I added the Fibonacci, that will show me, let me add a line as well. So this information would show you, if I toggle this on and off, that's the price. This is the data window. So basically it's sharing all the information that you have on the screen currently, open and close. Because of the weekend, you can't see that information here, but this is where you would see all that. On the right here, on the settings, something that I've spotted that I haven't told you yet, the blue and the yellow is the open of the session and the close of the session. And I believe you can do that, if I remember correctly. And let's get scales. Extend prices. Someone in the comments now will be like, it's there. Okay, so I'll write it in the comments. There, I can't remember exactly where it is, but I will find it for you. Pre and post. Here we go. So if I type that white, you'll see it won't show. So that's the pre and post market, and you can toggle that on and off if you want to have that. Pre-market hours and post-market hours. Next, I don't think you will be using this data window a lot, but it's there if you need it. Here, really useful is sort of your filter. If you wanted to filter all the, especially for stocks, what's been changing a lot on the volume, or you wanted to go by gap gainers, you can quickly filter. That's the gap, and it gained, and by how much? 22.5. The volume is 2.3 million. So if you're looking for something that's gapped up, you can do that very quickly, easy. Below, you could put the cup downs, the losers, and we've got here the highest change where it gapped down and continued. Very quick and easy way to filter through stocks. Next, we've got the economic calendar. And you can set the economic calendar and filter by what country. So I'm trading the pound dollar, so I've got that information on there. And you can reset this, and it will have all of the heat. The heat will show you how important something is. If it's low heat or high heat, it will give you that fire candle will increase, and so on. Super useful to have it onto your chart next to it. And that is the economic calendar. Next, we've got the ideas. You can create ideas here and share your ideas, publish it private or public. If you're going short or long, you can add categories, tag it, put your Twitter on, and share that idea, and people will upvote you. And whilst they upvote you, they will give you ranking. It's something that people do on Tradingview. After this, we've got our chat rooms. This is specific to what you're looking at. So for instance, here I've got the pound USD dollar. You can have Forex chats. You can have multiple different chat rooms. Here's your private rooms. If you wanted a private message to someone, you would find that there. Idea streams, any ideas that you're following and you have notifications on, that's where it would be. This is streams, people trading live, and then sharing the video, notifications, and below we have if you are live trading, this is where you would see your accounts from your broker and so on, and then you've got your level 2 at this section here. Last but not least, we're going to the bottom. This is where you can see you can toggle between the data of what is this, Altasian Corporation in NASDAQ. Okay, you can see all the earnings on the bottom here, when earnings was missed, hence the shorting, and next earnings coming up on the 19th of January 2023. So you can have a very quick, easy view of all the data back to 2016 for this company. Last 5 years, 1 year, you can toggle all this, and you can customize, especially if you wanted to look at a date range. This is where you would put your date range, go to, and it will show you that. Below is where you would have your stock screeners. So this is a bit more detail of what we were looking up here. Here you can look at whatever you want. You can look at fundamentals, you can look at valuations, you can look at dividends. Let's say you were looking for, let's see, Apple. Ooh, no. It's because we're on, what are we on? USA NASDAQ. So that should work. Let's see. I don't use this enough, but here, let's go with this one. This is where you would see the yield, dividends paid, so you can dive into, and especially for the people that are doing a lot more detailed analysis to predict what a price will be doing. This is where you can do your income statements, balance sheets, and so on. Okay. And next one, you've got Pine Editor. This is where people write script for indicators and for drawings or what they use onto the chart. If you're a bit of a programmer, this is where you'll be doing all that. Strategy Tester, you can test your scripts and so on, or you can load scripts that other people have done and you can test to see how well they perform in the market. Last one, you've got the trading panel, which is where you would find your brokers. You've got paper trading, which is free, and also you've got all the brokers that actually allow you to trade directly from Tradingview. This is where you would connect that. Okay, that was a very, very, very fast, ultimate video for training Tradingview, how to use it. If I have missed things, put them in the comments, because I tried to make it quick and snappy, but we've been doing it under 40 minutes. I think that is very good effort. And what we're going to do here, let's see, this is the object tree, by the way, we didn't talk about that, is when you have a line that will show you everything you have onto your chart. And this question mark is, you can ask any sort of question and it will try and help you, such as, where is the RSI, stochastic RSI, blah, 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 blah. You've got articles and screeners and so on. Extremely useful tool. I use it daily for my trading. I hope this has been useful for you, and we'll catch you in your next video. Bring the band in.